Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some Feed the Beast Horizons Daybreaker for episode 15. And today, I think it's about high time that we upgraded our armor, because right now, our armor kind of sucks. We're using basic iron armor that's like half depleted, worn down. We don't even have a chest plate because we've been using this guy over here. The Steam Exosuit chest plate because it has a jetpack installed. It's really clunky. We put this thing on, we gotta charge it up all the time. It's a big pain in the backside. So, today, we are going to change all that, and we're going to do it using a new mod that I haven't played with before, but one that looks really cool, despite the fact that it's got a really kind of somewhat difficult to navigate GUI, and that is the Modular Armour mod. So if I go ahead and type in Modular here, and I should go ahead and type in Modular Armour, because otherwise, it shows all the stuff from Modular Turrets as well. But we are going to get ourselves a set of modular armor, and this stuff is not too hard to make, but it's a bit of a lengthy process. It's made using these tempered electrum ingots, which are made by combining heated electrum with a bucket of water. I'm assuming you get the bucket back in the scenario. If not, it's a pretty expensive recipe. And then this stuff here, the heated electrum, is made by smelting normal electrum ingots. So the first thing I'm going to do today is go ahead and smelt up some electrum. I did go ahead and make some between episodes, and smelt that up in there, and we're going to go ahead and just plunk that in like that, and let that go ahead and smelt up. 64 is more than enough to get us a full set, and maybe even some of the additional items as well, like the amulet, the belt, and some of the other stuff around here as well. But for today, we're going to start with just the 4 basic pieces of armor, and then maybe we'll move on and look at the other pieces at some point in the future. And while that's doing that over there, one other thing that I would like to work on today is our tool situation, because we kind of have one of the best tools in the game. We have this resonant wide mining laser, which is great, but it's not very precise. And you'll notice that we're carrying around a bunch of other tools like the amethyst pickaxe, the ruby axe, the hoe, and all that kind of stuff for when we need to do very precise work. And I'm not a huge fan of that, because all of these will eventually run out of durability. We'll have to make more of them. They're not very fast. I want to make a really cool multi-tool that does the job of a pickaxe, an axe, a hoe, a sword, and a shovel all in one, that is rechargeable and is really, really fast. And that comes from Mekanism in the form of the Atomic Disassembler. So if we go and type in Atomic Disassembler, this guy over here is really, really cool. It's a little hard to make, it's a little expensive, but it's not too bad. We do have all of the resources required to make it, and one thing that it requires a ton of are these enriched alloys. And so what I've gone ahead and done between the end of last episode and now is I went ahead and threw a stack of redstone and a stack of iron into the metallurgic infuser and got us a stack of enriched alloys, so we shouldn't have to wait for too much stuff to be made in the metallurgic infuser. And you'll also notice that we need a little bit of refined obsidian, both in the form of dust and in ingot form. And the way we get refined obsidian is by putting obsidian dust through the metallurgic infuser with a little bit of diamond. And you'll notice that there's 2 choices here. There's diamond dust or compressed diamond. Now, diamond dust, I believe, only works for 1 use. So you can only, like, 1 diamond dust is equivalent to 1 piece of obsidian, and that will make 1 refined obsidian. However, compressed diamond, I believe, gives you 10 uses, so it can be used to process 10 pieces of pulverized obsidian. And compressed diamond is simply made by putting a diamond in the enrichment chamber. It's exactly the same cost, but by putting it through the enrichment chamber, we get 10 times as many uses. That's also true for redstone, coal, and everything else, by the way. I've just been a little bit lazy in the past by not using the enrichment chamber. So, if we were to go ahead and look in our pseudo AE system for all of our diamonds, which are over here, let's go ahead and grab one of those. 1 should be more than enough if we're going to get ourselves 10 of these, 10 uses from just the 1. And once it's gone through the enrichment chamber, that should get us a compressed diamond. Now, what we should probably do at some point is make a second enrichment chamber just for making, like, compressed diamonds, compressed redstone, compressed coal for the metallurgic infuser, because otherwise it's a pain to try and stop the one that's working on ores, and we end up with, like, dusts and stuff, and it's just a real pain. But we'll work on that in the future. For now, let's go ahead and get ourselves some obsidian, which will most likely be over here. And we need some obsidian dust, which I believe is also, again, made in the enrichment chamber. This kind of makes my point here. Right now, we're kind of left with this random aluminium grit in my inventory, which I have nothing to do with, apart from maybe dump back into the system, at which point it will most likely never get turned into an ingot, and it's a bit of a pain. So we'll take the obsidian dust and we'll throw that in there. We should really make an enrichment chamber. Do we have what it takes to make a second enrichment chamber right now? We probably do. It's a steel casing, which is just 4 steel and an osmium. We did figure out last episode that steel is actually usable in the condenser. We can actually use EMC for it, but we should maybe have some... No, we don't. Okay. I hope we are going to have some steel lying around. We do not. thankfully, we can make some very easily. I'm going to go ahead and quickly make us another enrichment chamber here, just to save a little bit of time in the future. And steel, in fact, looks something like this. So we'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, and then if we can buy that up with a little bit of osmium, which we have a ton of, by the way. I think we might have more, maybe lead. I was going to say we might have more osmium than anything else, but I think lead might just hold the lead on that one. We might have more lead than anything else. But if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and osmium, that gets us a steel casing. We did, in fact, have some steel in here already. And then we just need 2 basic controllers, which is some more osmium and some more redstone. So we'll take 2 of you and get ourselves some redstone, which will be in the valuable section. And 1, 2. And again, we could go ahead and put this through the enrichment chamber and get a lot more uses out of our redstone, but it's a bit better and it's a bit faster just to not do that and not interrupt the system here. So instead, we're going to go ahead and let all of this process so that we get our full 80 uses out of the diamond there. Whilst we're waiting for that to finish, how are we doing on the heated electrum front? We're doing pretty well. I'm probably going to cut away for this because I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me pick up a bucket of water and craft it into a tempered piece of electrum a billion times over. But basically, what I'm going to do to make us the electrum is we're going to go ahead and try and grab that middle piece of water there, craft it up. Hopefully we get the bucket back. We do. And I'm going to do that flipping 28 times. I think 28 is actually the number of ingots we need to make a full set of armor. But we'll do that in just a second once we've got all of this stuff over here. This thing is almost done. We should really, at some point, look into making some more speed upgrades for all of these machines here, especially considering how much power we are now producing with our generator downstairs. A speed upgrade actually isn't too bad. It's some osmium dust, which is it's going to take some time to pulverize down some osmium, but in all fairness, it's not actually that bad. I'm in the wrong section. That's why it's not coming up. I need to be in the ingot section, like so. Let's get ourselves some osmium dust. And what I think I'll do, guys, is I'm going to go away. I'm going to make all of the stuff that we need to make the atomic disassembler. I'm going to go away. I'm going to turn all of this heated electrum into tempered electrum. And I'll be back in a second. Okay, so a little while later, I made a few more things. And now, in order to turn our reinforced osmium dust into reinforced osmium ingots, we're going to need a machine called the Osmium Compressor. This one's fairly easy to make. It's 2 buckets, 4 enriched alloys, which are the things we made earlier, and then 2 of these advanced control circuits, which are simply basic control circuits with 2 enriched alloys. So, we're not going to shift click in because that goes ahead and breaks the game for us, which is not what we want. Instead, we're going to take 2 of those. We're going to put those there and there in a second once we've used our steel to make another block of steel for mechanism, or steel casing, and then we'll go ahead and throw you 2 there and there with the buckets either side like so. And then was it iron all the way around? It was not. It was more of these enriched alloys, which should go like that, and that gets us an osmium compressor. Nice! So I've also gone ahead and got a bunch of osmium dust since we cut away as well, so we should now be able to go ahead and do something like this and get us quite a few speed upgrades, which are going to come in quite handy for speeding up all of our machines. And I also went ahead and made this little guy over here another enrichment chamber. Not quite sure what's going on with the textures over here. The texture here for the enrichment chamber is working fine. This is the exact same machine, but for some reason, the ones in this wall do not want to be textured, so for whatever reason, they are not textured, but we will go ahead and add this little guy to the wall as well, and I can't quite put him there because of the way that our power lines are set up, so for now, I know it's a mess, but I'm going to put it down right there. And what I'll do between episodes is try and clean this up so that it all looks a bit nice again. And I'll probably move these guys out of the wall. And I might even move these machines altogether, maybe onto this wall over here, just to make it look a little tidier. But basically, all we have to do is put you in there, give this thing some power, which it has got, and it should almost then be good to go. So we look here, we need some osmium in the bottom there, and that should... I don't know if it needs more than 1 ingot of osmium. I would assume that it doesn't. I'd assume 1 ingot of osmium and 1 reinforced obsidian dust equates exactly to 1 obsidian ingot. Nice. So if we go back and look at our atomic disassembler, I'm fairly certain that that's the only obsidian ingot that we actually need. Other than that, we just need 4 enriched alloys, the energy tablet, which we've made before, is very easy to make, and then finally the atomic alloy, which is made by putting some reinforced dust with a reinforced alloy in a metallurgic infuser, which is made using a normal enriched alloy and some diamond dust in a metallurgic infuser. Right now, we have just enough diamond dust to do something like... taking these guys out and putting them in here. We're also going to go ahead and we might as well add some of these speed upgrades in whilst we're here. We'll put like 3, you know, we'll put 4 of those in. I believe each machine can hold up to 8 speed upgrades in total, so 4 is about halfway there in terms of all of the speed upgrades. Can you actually put them in there? No, you can't. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that was about. But anyway, we'll go ahead and we will try again to take those out, because it turns out that whenever you shift-click something out of here, it goes into the little internal inventory in the project table instead of into your own inventory, which is a bit of a pain. But if we throw them in there like that, that should get us, and you can see it's now much, much faster, one of these reinforced alloys. And if we put that in again with a piece of reinforced dust, that's going to get us the atomic alloy, like so, which is pretty much the final piece of the puzzle. So let me grab some gold real quick so that we can make the energy cell, this guy over here, and that looks to be about it. 2, 3 of those. You guys can all go down the middle, 1, 2, and 3, with 2 of you like this, I think it was, and then those 2 in the middle? It's the other way around. It's redstone around the outside with the enriched alloys in the middle. That gets us an energy tablet. And then if we were to combine those with our atomic alloy, some more of our enriched alloys like so, and an obsidian ingot, we get ourselves the atomic disassembler, which, as I said earlier, is a pickaxe, axe, shovel, hoe, and sword, all combined into one tool. So basically, it's an all-in-one for everything. And if we were to go ahead and charge this up, we might as well charge it downstairs now. We don't have to go out to our wind turbine to charge all of our tools up. Instead, we can put them into our energy cell over here. So this thing can hold, I think, it says 0 joules. I think it holds like 400,000 RF, maybe. But it's not. I think there is a way to make Mekanism display in Redstone Flux, but I have no idea how you change them to display in Redstone Flux. So for now, it's just displaying in Minecraft joules. So we'll take those, and if I was to head on outside, we can show you that this tool is absolutely fantastic. And it also looks super cool. I mean, look at this thing. Look at it. It's like a big glowing cyber hammer. It looks absolutely fantastic. So it's a sword. This guy almost died in one hit, which is kind of fantastic. It's a shovel, which is a very fast shovel. And actually, if we go down to the mine here real quick, it is also a pickaxe. Nice. So it's not the fastest pickaxe in the world, of course. When we go down mining... Oh, we'll kill this witch real quick. When we go down mining, we are, of course, going to still use our wide mining laser because it does such a better job at destroying so much stuff really, really, really quickly. But for everything else and for all the precise jobs like picking up machines and placing down wood and all that kind of stuff, we will go ahead and use our atomic disassembler. Now, onto the good stuff, the new armor that we've got. I've gone ahead and got all of the tempered electrum, so we should now be able to go ahead and make ourselves a full set of this modular armor, which is made in exactly the same way as you would make any other armor, like so. And then we have these guys here. So let me go ahead and try and organize my inventory a little bit. If you just middle mouse click and you have inventory tweaks installed, it will go ahead and organize your inventory for you in a bit of a nice way. So this armor here annoyed me for the longest period of time, because if you look at the mod, if we go ahead and type in modular armor, there is like nothing here. There are no upgrades, there's no batteries like there normally is in a mod that you would use to upgrade your armor, and there's no like book or tutorial or anything on how to actually use this. So it took me quite a while to figure out how you're supposed to do stuff. So in a bit of a weird way, you're supposed to right click on the armor to bring up the armor interface. You then have to click on upgrade over here, and then to find out the recipes for the upgrades, you have to click on recipes, at which point you can click this box to see a list of all of the upgrades that you can add to the armor, and you have to click these little arrows here to flick through and see the recipes for all the armor, for all the add-ons, which you then have to go ahead and put in this little crafting grid here. Give it a little tick, and it will add it to the current item that you are right-clicked on. So it's a bit of a weird system. If you're watching Mod Creator, it'd be nice if there was like individual items for all the upgrades, and we can maybe put them into slots up here. Just my opinion, it would be a bit of an easier thing to kind of start with, or maybe just give like a little book that tells people how to do this, because it's not really the same way a lot of other mods do it, and it's not really the most intuitive of ways, but it is really, really cool. So, if we were to go ahead and look again at the recipe list here, there are a few of these that I want to make. First of all, one that I would definitely like to make, but we can't make yet, is a jetpack. And the reason we can't make it just yet is because it requires a nether star. And what I will probably do between this episode and next episode is I will take our armor, which will be very good by the end of this episode, as well as this guy over here, our atomic disassembler. We'll go into the nether, we'll try and kill a bunch of wither skeletons and try and get enough wither skeleton skulls to fight the wither next episode. And then hopefully we can get ourselves a jetpack, because the jetpack from this mod is really, really cool. But what we're actually going to make today, we're going to start by giving all of these the ability to accept power, because right now, if we look, they all have 0 out of 0 RF. They cannot take any RF, and they have no RF. So to start with, we have to start with, I believe, the leadstone energy. And again, this is another little point where the game was, it doesn't really specify that you have to start with leadstone energy, and like nowhere on here does it say you have to have this one first. But when I first tried it, hardened is the first one in the list for whatever reason, and I instantly tried to put the hardened stuff on, and it didn't work. I couldn't do it, so I'm not quite sure what's up there, but we're going to start with leadstone. So to make the leadstone energy upgrade, all we need is 4 iron, 4 redstone, and 1 iron block. Make sure that you go ahead and press 0 on your keyboard to turn off any eye before you start to try and craft in this little thing here, because if you don't turn any eye off and you try and put an item into this crafting grid, it will fall straight through. It's a bit annoying. It happens with other mods as well that have these little like crafting grids on the outside. It happens with thermal expansion and the cyclic assembler, but if you press O, it will turn off any eye, and you can quite happily put some stuff in here. We can put redstone like this, and then we could put iron around like so, and then if we press a little tick, we get leadstone energy, and now we have to go ahead and do that for all of these. I don't think it carries over, so we do have to kind of take all of these out, and unfortunately, you can't shift-click them out, which is a bit of a pain. It's a bit of a hard interface to use. Like I've said before, it's not the friendliest of interfaces, but we can do something like this, and then throw you down over there, give that one a tick, and then do the same thing on you. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And don't worry, we don't have to, there isn't too many upgrades that we have to put on every single item. Most of them just go on individual items. For example, now that we are done with that, one of the first upgrades I want to make, I believe, goes to the legs, and that is this one down here. There is, I believe, walk assist and then step assist, and I'm trying to find them on this list. Here it is, walking speed boost and step assist. And of course, walking speed boost is going to make us walk faster, which is something I've wanted for such a long time. And then step assist is the thing that allows you to kind of walk up blocks without having to jump, which is really useful for speed. So this thing is fairly easy. It's just 2 pistons and some iron. And if you click this little compatible button up here, it will tell you which piece of armor you have to put this on in order for it to work, and for this one you can quite clearly see that it goes on the leggings. So let me just quickly look at this, the recipe for step assist. It's exactly the same, but just missing those 2 bottom pieces of iron. So if we were to do something, was it like, oh, I can't believe I'm going to mess this up already. I think it was like that with pistons there. Oh, I see, I placed this iron there. That's not supposed to be there. Okay, that gets us walking speed, and then if we do the same thing again, like so, piston there, and then iron around, but not here and here, that gets us the step assist. And now if we were to charge up our armor, we should walk significantly faster and be able to go and walk up blocks without jumping. We can also go ahead and get jump assist if we wanted to in a second. I don't think that you need the full set of armor on for the effects to kick in, so I think we could kind of just plop these on like so, and instantly, are we walking faster? Step assist is working. You can see I'm not jumping and we are nicely walking up this block. I feel like we might be, but actually what I think we're doing wrong here is I think I'm going to have to configure this in this section over here. If we click walk assist and configure, aha, here we go. We have to go ahead and configure our speed by moving this bar. Now, unfortunately, it looks like for whatever reason, I cannot move this bar, which is a bit of a pain. Is that due to lack of power, or is that due to the energy level that we have? It could be that we are on one of the lower energy levels, and that's not what I want to do. That's taking energy out of the legs and putting it into the basic energy cube. We might have to instead put one of the higher tiers on, possibly. Again, the mod's not very good at telling you what and how to do things, but if we can actually figure this out, that would be really cool. Oh, okay, the speed. Does the speed go up with the power, like how much power is inside of it? Some of the add-ons are configurable in that little config tab, and you can actually change them. It looks like this one might be tied to how much power you have inside. So let's try and fill this thing up all the way to 400,000, which is done right about now. And if we look now, it's not changeable. So I don't know, but we are a little bit faster now, if anything, which is kind of cool. Let me do a quick check here. Let's see, what do we need for the next tier of power upgrades? That would be hardened, which is made using lapis and redstone pretty much exclusively. One good thing about using this little interface, though, is that you don't have to leave in order to craft stuff, which is pretty nice. However, we do need to go ahead and craft a block of lapis, so let's do that. And I kind of just want to test this theory here, because I have no idea if the walking upgrade is in fact linked to the amount of power that you can have. If it is, that's kind of an interesting way of doing it. Have I done these the wrong way around? I may well have done. And I did. We'll add that on, and then we'll try, and what can we do now? We can go up to 2 million redstone flux now, so we'll try that again. Okay, I figured it out. Again, I like this mod. I want to like this mod, but you have to use the scroll wheel to move it up and down. You cannot click anywhere on this line. You have to scroll up and down whilst hovering over this bar, which is something it doesn't tell you anywhere, I don't think. So, I mean, do we have to scroll all the way up here if we want it to work? But I guess having more power is never a bad thing. And then now, flipping, whenever you click elsewhere, it goes back down to 15%. So let's scroll that all the way up, and then let's just click escape. And let's see now. Now we walk significantly faster than we did originally. Maybe a bit too fast, so we'll probably go ahead and lower that just a smidge. I'll probably actually go down to maybe like 50, because that is way too high for me to be walking that fast, and people don't like it when I move too fast on camera. Some people don't like it when I like turn really fast either, but that's a little bit better. Now we walk at a significantly faster speed. We can kind of get around the place a lot quicker, and that is very nice indeed. Like I said, not too happy with that. It's a bit of a pain, but this is the Modular Armour mod. What I will do between episodes, guys, is I will have a look, and I'll probably add a few more of these upgrades to my system, like Solar Helmet is one that I will probably add. There were some texture ones I'm probably not going to add just because I'm not too bothered about how the armor looks, because we're never really going to see it, and there's nobody else on the server, so nobody else is going to see it. Like I said, I will try and get 3 Wither skeleton skulls so we can go ahead and try next episode to fight the Wither, get another star, and get that jetpack, because the jetpack from this mod does allow for creative mode flying, which is pretty cool. But with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Feed the Beast Horizons Daybreaker there. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.